Hi, I'm Tim, the Cheap 3D Printer. Today, we have these. So, a couple months ago, I started a video, or I posted a video, that I was calling the 3D Print for Ed, or 3D for Ed prints. And so what they were planned to do, or what I was planning on doing with them, was to print some things for the schools, realizing that a lot of our teachers are underpaid, they don't make enough money, they can't buy the models that they need for their classroom to be able to teach in their classroom. And so we have 3D printers available to us. We have 3D printers at our fingertips, things that we can print inexpensively that we can then give to the teachers to help them teach in their classroom. And that's where these two things came into play. These are two different cell models, a plant cell and an animal cell model. And they are available on Thingiverse. They are created by Mosaic Manufacturing, who creates the Pallette Plus. The Pallette Plus will print these with 4 different filaments and print them just as they are. I don't have a Pallette Plus. Mosaic, if you'd like to send me one, that would be great, but that's neither here nor there. I don't have one, so what I did was I printed them individually, the different layers, the different colors printed individually, and glued these together. The animal cell was actually quite easy. With a filament change, you can print the red, do a filament change to the yellow, and then print these red pieces on top. And then also print the purple pieces separately, and then print the blue pieces separately, glue them all together, and it becomes one model. It was not that hard to do. The animal cell, however, was a little bit more difficult. So what I did with this one was I went into, I think it was Idea Maker, the Raise 3D's slicer program, and you can actually make slices or cut your models with that. So that's what I had to do in order to get this one to the point where I could print it. So my very first print was this dark green, then there's a light green in here if you can see that, and then yellow. That was the first print. Then I was able to print all the dark green things that are on top separately, the light green separately, the red separately, and then glue all those things together to make this model. So I'm going to be taking these over to the science teacher. Actually, I'm going to have my son take them into his science teacher tomorrow and give them to her. She can use them in class. She can pass them around to the students. They can identify the different parts of the cells in both the plant cell and the animal cell, and they'll be able to use them for learning a little bit more than just, stuff on paper or drawings or things that she projects onto the screen. So I will post the updated STLs that are needed in order to print these with a single color printer. I will post those on Thingiverse as a remix of these, of a remix of this one. This one does not really need to be remixed. I will post a remix of this one that makes it to where you can print it. And I just want to encourage you to use your printer for good. Use your printer to help the schools. There's not a lot of money in education, and so these teachers don't have the ability or the time or the finances to be able to go buy some of these models, where we can provide them. This literally costs, each one of these literally costs probably 20 to 30 cents in filament. They didn't cost much to me, but they will help the teacher tremendously and save her from having to go buy models that may cost $20, $30, $40, $50 for their classroom. So I want to encourage you, find some models. These are science models. I did a heart model a couple months ago that I had a friend of mine paint, and we gave those to the teacher. There's other models available out there that you might be able to print and might be able to use for your local classroom. So if you do print something, use the hashtag 3D print for Ed, or 3D for Ed, sorry. Use the hashtag 3D for Ed, and so we can see those prints that are available. And get out there, use your printers for good. Meanwhile, why don't you keep printing and keep printing cheap?